as we're here just ahead of Veterans Day and with Old Glory behind you, you are a veteran, are you not?
I'm a veteran, yes.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
We have several in our audience and in our membership. Veterans of the military, would you please stand? I want to recognize genuine Americans.
I think some of the people covered our ceremony in the Whitten patio yesterday, where we saluted our veterans and announced a new Veterans to Agriculture program as well. So there's a great new website. We were very serious about supporting our veterans. They bring skill sets that we think work very well back in agriculture, all the way from production to processing. And so we're really reaching out to those men and women who served our country to give them an opportunity to further serve our country through producing that food supply.
Some of you have served more than once. Former Secretary Block here, who served with President Reagan, of course, is a military man as well. We thank you all for your service. We'll go to some questions momentarily, but I have one or two I wanted to ask you to begin with.
As MC, you get the priority,
I
right?
think there's a little bit of priority. We got confirmation this morning, of course, of a huge, even larger corn crop for the nation. That yield just keeps on climbing, I guess. It reminds us that we have to find a home for it all. How are we doing on that trade story? And as you know, farmers remain quite concerned about the trade agreements and getting agreements in place to continue going forward.
Well, certainly. Obviously, the abundance continues as we look at the genetics continue on these step increases in corn and soybeans as well. That means that we do have to find homes for it, and we're actively out here looking. One of the goals is to preserve the homes that we have already, and that means NAFTA. Obviously, the people in this room and the producers around the country know how important NAFTA has been to American agriculture. I can assure you the administration knows how important agriculture and NAFTA has been to agriculture, and we're continuing negotiating. I think there's probably some room for some anxiety. Of course, farmers don't need a lot to be anxious about, but room for anxiety when we see some of the proclamations coming out. But at the end of the day, I think we will get an agreement. I think the president is a tough negotiator. It may go to the brink, but I believe we will get a new and actually a better agreement over NAFTA, particularly from the Canadian side for poultry, dairy, eggs, those kind of things, but even with our southern neighbors in Mexico.
Have we done any damage to these long-term relationships with all of the discussions and the rhetoric, if you will, that has taken place?
No, I don't think. I think it's really at the end of the day that these negotiations are tough as it is, and President Trump brings a different type of negotiator to the table. Ambassador Lighthizer works for him and has to listen to the president as the way he wants things done. So the president grew up in the real estate market in New York, and that's tough negotiation. Obviously, if you've read his book, The Art of the Deal, and he's made this statement publicly that he doesn't think you can get the best deal if you're not willing to walk away. And I think that covers some of the strategy there. But I think at the end of the day, I know that he knows how important agriculture, NAFTA is to agriculture. He knows how important the agricultural economy is to the U.S. economy. He's obviously very focused on the trade deficit, and that's originated particularly with auto and auto parts coming from Mexico. But at the end of the day, I'm hopeful that we will get a NAFTA version 2 that's even better than the first.
You mentioned Ted McKinney. Here we are a year after the election.